That is for thinking.
Yo, Charlie.
Welkom back, Charlie!
Ik heb toch een mus laatst doen.
Yo, ik heb kakker gevangen. Yo,
Die brand kakker gevangen.
Wanneer ben je dat doen? Ik ben naar Noord gegaan. Yay! Je bent Oref.
The Babbling Heads Podcast.
Oh, yeah, we.
Yes, I am Nantal. This is the Babbling Heads Podcast.
And I'm the base 187.
I'm Adrian Kearns, I think, yeah.
Charlie X2C.
And we have with us our special guest.
Hi, I'm Chef Keanon of Keanons Kitchen.
Cool. So I guess I'm the guy that's going to do it today.
Lead.
Yes, that's my welcome, Keanon. I guess the reason why we wanted to invite you here is because we saw your great work in terms of being a chef and coming from Strandfontein, and we're just seeing how you're blowing up on social media in terms of your career. So we just wanted to get to know you a bit better. Tell us more about how it all started, the whole chefing idea. Oh, not the chefing idea, it's not an idea, you are a chef. But where did it all start?
Well, firstly, thank you, gentlemen, for having me on your podcast. I really appreciate it. You know, any exposure is good exposure, so really grateful for the opportunity. I've been wanting to do this since I was 9 years old, basically. I've been cooking professionally now for 20 years. Started when I was 16 years old, spending my shadow time at the Cape Sun Intercontinental, you know. And then I spent my time, cut a long story short, basically I had an opportunity to go abroad. Like most people, they usually work on boats and stuff, but I didn't want to do that because I didn't smart cooking for 2,000 people or 1,000 people. So I got an opportunity in 2011 to be an in-flight chef for Etihad Airways. So Etihad, it's like if you flew first class, I'm your personal chef.
Sure.
So you board the plane in first class. I'm in charge. My position was R1, which is the first door that R1. So that's my position in the plane. So before you even learn to do anything, you have to first learn the aviation laws and rules. And it's a lot of content to take in because you have to know the chimes, you have to know the codes, you have to know the safety-related questions, you have to know where the crash axe is on all the configurations
So there's a
of each and
full
every plane.
kitchen on the plane.
They modified it, yes.
Fuck it.
It's called the galley. The term, the proper term is the galley. They modified the galley on the plane. So, my bro, it was an 8 to 12 C configuration. I mean, you get high caliber guests like Michelle Rodriguez. You get royalty. I cook for Coldplay, the whole band of Coldplay. One New Year's Eve, I had to fly London, which is it's a really cock flight because no one smart to fly on New Year's Eve. Everybody's going to party, and you lambing waiting to fly, and it's a 24 hour in London. So you only got 24 hours in London. You're like, you don't want to leave the hotel. You're like, yo, my bro. And then the flight was delayed, and we didn't understand why the flight was delayed because in Abu Dhabi, they're so wealthy, they throw free concerts. So my bro, I want to go to Metallica, and I love rock as well. So I was like, my bro, salute. Free concert. They don't use that. The whole couple does in Cape Town. So my bro, and then Coldplay boarded the flight, and they were freak cool. They were freak moog. And then I took their breakfast order, woke them up at a certain time. This one want an omelette, this one want that, my bro. And you just let them, you make up the beds, whatever, you set up the tables, and you easy peasy, my bro. So I was blessed to have that experience and to fly around the world. So wherever I land, whether I fly in Korea, I got 54 hours in Korea. I land in Sydney, Australia, I've got like 70 hours in Australia. And you just hook up with all your brassen there. The hele manskap is on in Australia. The Bruce is there. The hele college is on me, bro. So net my bro, wat sê jy?
As soon as
just like, my bro, hy's ons colored. You know, that's a colored voice too. So he's from the Cape. So now I've been blessed to where I am now. You know, I thought, look, let me learn my skill set. Let me get everything together. And then I finally got everything together. I don't need to work for anybody anymore. Because to be honest with you, I got a problem with authority figures. I don't like to be told what to do. Okay, I have a problem with that, but I knew in order to get to where I needed to get, I needed to learn. I needed to make sure that I mastered my craft. And that's the problem with a lot of lighties these days, especially they see what they see on TV and what they perceive is going to be easy. It's like, my bro, do you know what it took me to get here, bro? Like, do you actually know what it took me? How much sacrifice it took me to get here, bro? Like, it's no easy thing, and I take my work very seriously. Like, I'm intense, my bro. I'm not the easiest person to work with, but if you know your shit and you know what you're doing, the tongue will ruk. You and I will work like Shaq and Kobe.
There's a term, they say, be coachable. So how do you get over that, dude?
Nah, you have to listen. Look here, I know for a fact you know more than me. I want to be as strong as you. I see how quiet you are. How do you get so quiet? How did you get so quiet? I want to learn from you, my bro. You humble yourself and you say, my bro, teach me, man.
How did you differentiate between that kind of personality? Because obviously you have a strong personality. You have the one where you really want to be coached. But in your industry, there's also a lot of barriers, man. Like I look at it, chefing, hospitality industry, 1990 all the way until now, it's still predominantly white.
My bro,
So how did you separate that? I want to learn from, say, Shaquille white guy. But I don't want Shaquille to take me for a, you know what I'm saying? Because I have my talent as a chef, and he has obviously experience and stuff. Where did you draw the line to realize, you know what, fuck this shit? I've learned a lot. I'm gonna do my own thing.
My bro, first and foremost, before I answer that, the hospitality industry is probably the most racist industry in this fucking country. For real. You look at the Eat Out Awards every fucking year, it's always white people or black people. The colors, ons word nie gesien nie, my bro. Yet, we good enough to be second in charge or third in charge of this top hotel and that top hotel, or you give us a cuck salary because you give us the title, and we will just go for it because we've been working for 15, 18, 19, 20 years to get to that accolade where we can put it on our CV, we're an executive chef or we're a head chef. But you're not giving us what you're giving the white bra. Nah, my bro, because why? Because homeboy, mommy and daddy can spend 180k to send him to Solwood. You know?
Education-wise.
My bro, I'm driving the same car since 2009, my bro. Kijk, I'm not scam, but my car's paid off. The bank don't own my car. I work for my car. My mom and my daddy told me, bro, if you want a car, you go out and you work for it. Took me 8 years to buy my first car.
Yeah.
8 years, my bro. I didn't earn a lot of money. But you know what, my bro? I'm fucking happy in what I do. I got no complaints. I can do what I do any day because it doesn't feel like work, because I love what I do, man. And that's the difference. You chase a bra now on a Friday night, my bro. And you ask him, kijk, my bro, hoe was your week? Mense kyk jy, nee, my bro, kan ek dop hier, wil jy van weg, jy praat jy, ons is hier nou. Like, nee, my bro, ask me how my week was. I can't keep my back, because I love what I do. That's the difference. So I know, I was fortunate enough that the chefs that I worked under, brown, no, colored chefs, the brasser that I worked under, my bro, I'm talking about owns like Fahim Puljoen, I'm talking about like Charles Skippers, you're from Lotus River. I'm talking about the brasser that couldn't go and get a tertiary education because they didn't have the means or the resources. So they started as kitchen hands and they worked their way up. And that brasser worked their way up to sous chefs. Hard knock life, but that means it's hard. Kiki, I got so much respect for like for him. We have a nickname for him. We call him the bad guy. He's a badass, Kiki. He is bad, my bro. Like if you were a trainee, that man's gonna push you to the max. Because that man don't know any other way. Because the way they drugged him at table by working under the white hypocrisy, it was hectic, my bro. That Owens were abused, they were pushed, but they wouldn't quit. And that made those Owens as hard as nails, my bro. Not any kykie, by him, by Srekai, my bro, can say repay broek. Or can say parat, you either dollar or you pick. You want to learn to dollar, you learn from me, you keep your quiet or you pick and you ask questions. That's how it is. There's nothing about coupling feelings. You want to be good or you want to be cock.
Yo. That's just blatant.
One thing like I want to address specifically like with the head chefs and stuff like that. And this is with me having a brother in the chefing industry as well as my daughter's now also a chef at Steamboat. How do you handle the verbal abuse? Because that's one thing my brother always complained about. Kurt, you always said like, yo, it's like they crack you down to a level, not like talking about people like Fahim, that's like actually trying to teach you, but the people that's like blatantly just abusing their power. How did you like overcome that?
My bro, to come over, look, I'm not gonna lie to you, my bro. I'm a very, very straightforward person and I'm honest. There's been times where I wanted to quit. Like for real. I had to dig deep inside me and it's like, fuck, my bro. I got no life. Like it got to that point, it's like, yo, my bro, all I'm doing is working. I mean, I'm not working, I'm sleeping. You have like one off day, or you work like 14 days straight, or you work 16 days straight, or you work 11 days straight. And my bro, it really takes a toll on you. It's like one day I just woke up in the bath, my bro. The bath was ice cold, bro. I looked like a California raisin and my alarm went off. My alarm went off in the I actually woke up because my alarm went off. I'm like, yo, my bro, did I fall asleep in this bath at 11 o'clock?
And you woke up, yo.
And it's like 4 o'clock, I must get ready for work because I didn't have a car, my bro. Staff transport, Jason, die Stramfontein, just eerst op die lijst.
Yeah.
I was first pick up, I sleep in the lounge, bro, with my window open. I can't sleep in my bed because if I miss my lift, I'm screwed, my bro. And there's a lot of responsibility. I need to be first in the hotel. Set up properly, make sure the buffer is tailored before the general manager comes down, before the executive chef comes down. He speaks the buffer because why? You got the prince of whoever and his entourage living in here on the court. You know what I mean? So everything needs to be on point and as 5-star, my bro. Kyk, this is the life you chose.
Yeah.
This is what you chose. This is what's expected. Those are the standards. There's no compromise.
Yes.
If you want to then go play somewhere else, go play with your toes, my bro, because this is the big boys. You want to be faster, you want to be a duck tongue, this is where the tongue ruk. If you can rook the pipe here, you can dial anywhere in the world. That's what it is. You have to get 5-star on you because the standards are exceptional now with hygiene, with food, with everything. That's the way you train properly, my bro. You're your big and you just listen, you put your head down. I got a big back. So that didn't always gel well with all my chefs. I got a loud, bold personality. Right? People don't grant
You don't
that.
say.
Nah, people chefs don't grant that, my bro.
No, for sure.
Praat van jou groot bek. I saw the old Stamford thing when the government dropped the
homeless.
the homeless there. You were one of the first brasa to say, "Kiki, this is not happening."
Kijk, JP Smith must go fly a kite, man.
Normally, the guys that would want a career in would think about the career, wouldn't go
Make a
out like
comment,
that and say like, "Kiki, this is wrong politically." What make you think? What made you like think, "Kiki, dude, this is just I can't let this
Keep quiet, yeah.
keep quiet and let it."
People
let
need
it
to
be."
understand one thing about me, man. If there's one thing you need to know about me, if I leave here today and people listening and they watch the show, I am proud of where I come from. I'm a bra from Strandfontein. We moved into Strandfontein in 1985, my bro. Ek is a village boy. I'm proudly Strandfontein. You see my hashtags? It's not a gang thing. I'm not a gangster. I'm proud of where I come from. Just because I'm from Strandfontein, that doesn't determine where I'm going to go in life. You understand? And I don't keep myself all because I've accomplished things. No, my bro. I want to inspire the next brother, next sister. Say, if I can do it, you can also do it, man. What's your problem? What's your excuses? Nah, my bro, stop talking and making excuses and blaming this one and blaming that one. You're responsible. You're responsible for your own happiness, man. It's not your mommy's responsibility or your daddy or your girlfriend or your wife, my bro. You must do what you have to do to make yourself happy and put yourself first.
Even if the odds is against you.
My bro, the odds are always going to be against you, especially as a colored person. And as a colored business owner, you're already at a deficit. Because the other colors are looking at you with a microscope, waiting for you to fuck up.
Exactly.
They're waiting for you to slice. Like people are literally waiting for you for your downfall. They're like, nah, this price becoming too high now. Oh, nah, that's your funny cap. Oh, 62,000 views. Oh, no, I used to feel. You know what I mean? And people get mad. I'm like, my bro, instead of putting that energy and hating on me, why don't you put that energy into your own craft and make your own self successful and do your own thing? Why are you getting quiet with me? I didn't screw anybody over. Everything I've done, I do with credibility, my bro.
Did you get backlash for
No. And I was actually hoping I'd get backlash because I want to take JP Smith on. Ek is nie bang. I'm from Strandfontein, my bro. Yeah, in Strandfontein was this old school feester. You face to face, my bro. You slat mekaar. That's where I come from. Not that the mense just want to plak skoot or get brasse. Nah, my bro. You and me got a problem. Ons so today sommer nou. Now. Ons moer mekaar op die veld. Môre we shake hands, we brasse is duidelik. But I know, kykie, I'm not going to take you on again because you're not going to stand.
Yeah.
You're not going to take it. You're going to get your skoot in. That's it. That's how I grew up. That we all friends at the end of the day. We're going to your birthday on Friday. Now it's a club Woensdag we play. It's just here brasse. And then Sunday we end up in Tokai Forest. Safe again. And then it's like, yeah, we were super on Wednesday. It's like, yeah.
Why do you roll me over the inch?
But you know what it
It's
is.
lockdown, bro.
And I mean, it's kak sad. Nah, I mean, the community of Strandfontein is absolutely fuck all going on there for that like this. That light has got no direction. There's nothing to do except to turn to drugs or to catch on kak. Like I feel really bad for the parents because you come from a good home and it's like it's good lighties, but they make bad decisions.
Yeah.
Good people make bad decisions all the time. Maybe you can't judge people based on the decision that they've made, but you can't make the same thing over and over and over. Then my bro, then it's a choice.
Yeah, then it's a choice.
Yeah.
If you repeat yourself.
Yeah, then you're choosing to catch on kak. Now you're a boof. You're not coming in my joint. Nah, I don't feel safe around you, my bro.
Yeah,
You speak to me on that side of the wall. Hoe's jou male? Hoe's jou pa? Nou, right my bro. Kap safe. I'm not
Kan ik kijken naar de
Nee.
We don't do that, yeah.
Nah, no trespassers and no tukkoppen. You see the sign in front of the gate. Tukkoppen not allowed.
Not beware the dogs, beware the tukkoppen.
Beware the tukkoppen. But the tuk is bad everywhere, man. And the thing is, getting back to your question, I was fortunate enough to have a really, really good mentor. A white guy by the name of Marcus Retail, an English guy, not a South African.
Yeah.
Humble person. Big heart, my bro. You can check, this like this hunger for knowledge, his hunger for skill, but he's lacking and he's lacking there. I was lacking a lot, my bro. The Owens that I worked under, they were all better than me. I say that with my bro. I'm not ashamed to say that they were better than me. That's the kind of people you need to surround yourself with. Kyk jy, dis man's gevaarlik on the pastry, jy's gevaarlik op die vis, jy's gevaarlik op die vleis. Dis man's evil sauce. I need to spend time with you because I want to be able to work with you. I don't want to be the weakest link in the kitchen. You only, like a brigade, the kitchen, we not teams, we brigades. You only as strong as your weakest link. And but by the time we worked for like 2.5 years, my bro, me, they didn't grant us. Always we strong, me bro. You know what I mean? I mean, we had our shit together. And we had a good camaraderie. Kyk, you in trouble now, I'm going to jump in and help you. That's the thing. Our guest service is never affected. Ever.
Keanon, I wanted to ask you something. So my two friends here, they heavy smokers. They like smoking meat and stuff like that. About it, like I always.
Oh, when you said smokers, I was like, smoke weed. What kind of smoking are we talking about here?
They book on that all the time. Like they always tell me they got like last time Nantal, he got the pork
belly?
the belly number. What advice would you give them, like if they were to? Because they self-proclaim, the best. But I mean, you here now. What tips can you give them? What are the things that in terms of smoking that is proven facts?
If you're gonna cook pork, there's only 2 words of pork: low and slow.
Wow.
Low and slow. Because the thing is, you have to render off that fat. It's a lot of fat, especially your belly. Especially if you're not going to scorch, you're going to get a high heat. You give it low and slow. You get that beautiful crisp on the outside, and you get that beautiful cook on the inside. That's will work every time. You can't fail with that. Pre-preparation is key, my bro. It depends on how you're going to smoke, what you're going to smoke it with, what kind of wood you're going to smoke it with, how long you're going to smoke it, what's the temperature of your smoke. Are you going to do a cold smoke, or are you going to do a hot smoke? There's so many ways to smoke. Are you going to do the whole belly? Or are you going to cut up into pieces? Are you going to do something to the belly first? Or are you going to infuse it with something and then smoke it?
I struggle with the skin, with the crackling when it comes to smoking it. But I think braaiing, I almost got it. In the oven, I can do the crackling where the meat is like a soft, whatever.
Because the temperature in the smoker is quite different from doing it in the oven.
Yeah.
So it's like more of an indirect heat, but at the same time, you're not going to get enough heat in order to crisp it. So like what I usually do is like I'll have a fire on the side. And once I've done my 4 hours smoking, then I'll just put it on in terms of crisping.
Making me hungry now. One of my favorite things, I'm known for smoking as well. But I don't just do smoked meats. I do like my last event I did a smoked coconut ice cream.
What the fuck?
Wow, that's
No, but I'm saying when you hire my culinary services, right? And you're actually sitting at the table and I'm cooking and you're actually tasting my serious cooking. When people look at me like, what the fuck are you talking about, your serious cooking? There's different levels of my cooking. When you come over to my house, you're my bra, and I'm just, my bro, and I cook at home, I cook very simple,
Tradition.
My Tani always complains, she's like, ik weet, jy gaat een moerse pot pasta maak en heel week over for I'll be like, yeah. Because I don't like cooking for myself. I love cooking for other people. It's like the weirdest thing ever, my bro. I don't get cooking for myself unless I smack it.
Yeah.
Like I smack the hoenderkerie. That's like my bro.
Then you do a good one.
Nah, kyk, if I'm going to enter a competition, and it's like a lot of money. It's like if it was a 1 billion rand competition, a cooking competition, and it was a curry competition, I'm definitely entering that. I'm not interested in anything else. I'm very confident that I have a good chance of winning.
Yeah. So you say your curry skills is top notch.
Nah, it's on a level. I don't talk about my other cooking, but my curry, you can't play with me when it comes to curry. I traveled the world tasting curry, my bro. My bro, from Malaysia to Korea, to Thailand, I tasted all the different curries. Take out the different techniques, the different chilies, my bro. The way they do it, the way they pound it, my bro. It's so complex and it's so complicated. It's like people don't understand how complex a curry actually is. And there's so many different curries and different interpretations, different versions. Because in Thailand has this chili, in Thailand has that basil. You're not going to get the same chili and basil here. Yeah. So it's obviously it's going to taste different. You can try to reinterpret it with what you use locally. But my bro, jy gaat hier uit Thai curry regte proe kry because it's the region where it grows in.
Yeah.
So do you import like curries or the leaves and stuff like that?
I don't import anything.
So just use.
You improvise with what?
I'm a local, bro.
Okay.
I support local, I grow local, and I use local. The thing is, I have to practice what I preach, otherwise I'll be contradicting myself. It's very, very important that I make sure that I'm true to who I am and what I represent.
Okay. 2 questions quickly. Having watched numerous international cooking shows and stuff, like firstly, a lot of head chefs supposedly go to the market at 3, 4 a.m. To go get the freshest produce of the day. Is that actually viable, or does it even exist in the Cape Town industry, where we have markets at that time, like, I don't know?
It does, but it's mostly in the winelands. Like the winelands, some of the best, and no disrespect to anybody in the CBD or Atlantic Seaboard, but some of the best establishments are in the winelands. Franschhoek, Stellenbosch, they on that level where they grow their own produce. Anybody that grows their own produce and cooks their own produce season to season, I take my hat off for them because that's the way it's supposed to be done.
Secondly, with your travels now, like you explained about the curry, it's like because we are basically from all the corners of the world, as well as mixed with the endemic koi and sand, with a lot of our heritage coming from Malaysia,
India,
etc. How has the food mutated over the years in terms of like what you'll find here in the traditional, say, Gatesville curry or Cockney curry, etc. And when they eat, I've got an Indian friend, Ravi, who says like, "No, you Cape Townians make bori curry." That's like he's like from Durban, and he says, "Nah, that's
right." But he makes Indian curry.
Yeah,
Indian curry is different to Cape Malay curry.
Yeah.
Our curry is very, very unique. It's as opposed to anywhere else in the world. Like, you know what I mean? The only thing that's maybe close to our curry is maybe in Singapore where they make a laksa because of the sugar content, but they use palm sugar because we're the only people who put a little bit of sugar in. You don't do that anywhere else. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
BT vinegar.
When I was working for Etihad, it's like we were all living in the same area, we all had our apartments and whatever, and chefs from all over the world, obviously Brasser batchmates. And then the one night, my bro, Alan Arends asking me, he's from Grassy Park, he was also there. It's like, my bro, maak die mense curry. I'll be like, salute. Maar I say, hier roti, ek gaan die curry maak. My bro, the mense like, what is this? Like, there's peas and what? It's like, my bro, this is a Cape Town curry. There's a hoender curry. Alan was like, he didn't care what, he's like, my other brother drove from Dubai to Abu Dhabi just to come and free the curry for us. My bro, he's like, where's my Tani's curry? I'm like, my bro, I'm making curry tonight. Stick it. How long? He's like, bro, I'm now there. Look again, hey, man, you're from Dubai. I'm like, bro, what's your mouth? I said, can you buy that party?
Alles hoe je op nou.
Alles hoe je op. Nah, but I'm just saying, it's such a big difference. And the thing is, the cool thing about that is you learn so much about people's cultures. And it's the diversity, maybe, and the mindset of people. Like, people really think we fucked up here in South Africa. Like, in Cape Town, like, people have no idea what goes on here. And the other people who are more like-minded is like, oh, bro, like, oh, mate, it's really beautiful down in South Africa. You bring me missus here, yeah? Fuck, your birds are quite fine, mate, you know what I mean? You know, be like, my bro, come on down and stay, look here. But you must stand, don't come lay elbows on the beach, otherwise you're going to look like this man stuck.
Red Lobster.
I was geboren with my tent since I'm a coffee color. I was born with this, you know. I go from Ricoffee and I go to Jacobs with my son. Jacobs, no milk, stand, I get a bit darker. When I don't see my tattoos in the wall, I'm like, I was going to come look like Batman, yo, how was it?
Okay, so what's the best curry you've ever eaten?
My bro, my mother's.
It's true.
For real?
I knew this was coming.
No, for real.
I think you just saying that to bias, man.
No. There's what people don't understand. How did I get into cooking?
I was going to ask you that question. You said 9 years old that you...
I had this... Look here, I'm not a talented cook. I learned to cook. People need to understand that I didn't have the natural cooking talent that some people are born with. My mother is one of those exceptionally blessed people who just understand food flavors and textures automatically. She can't explain it because she had to cook from a young age. She basically took care of my aunts and my uncle, and my grandma used to work in the factory. You know, growing up in Parkwood, and then they got kicked out of Kirstenbosch, and you know, during apartheid, then they got kicked out to Parkwood. Grew up there, and they ended up in Bontewil. So basically, my mom being the eldest, she had to be a mom, a sister, and a cook. She had to cook, clean, everything. So by the time my grandma got home, you know, the food is done and whatever. So she was forced. She didn't actually have a choice. But then she actually started enjoying it, and I could see when my mom cooked how much she enjoyed cooking for us.
Criticize your cooking.
Look, when it comes to critique and stuff, I welcome it because I can't walk around thinking my food is good and it actually tastes cuck. I need to know why it tastes cuck and how I can make it better. That's the whole point of criticism. Like, you can't be a chef and not handle critique. My bro, you're gonna set yourself up for disaster because you're gonna fuck things up. It's just common sense. You're never gonna get things right the first. My bro, now that my business is 3 years old, I can think of 3 events. Or not events, or at 3 events, 3 different things that didn't come out the way I wanted to. But we had to salvage it and it didn't affect the guests much. But I think about it, man, bro, I turn at night.
Yeah.
It's like that dish I did 2 years ago. Yo, I somebody turn over at night. I'm like, yeah.
No, standard.
You know why I get so upset? It's because I care about what I do.
I can see you committed. You tattoo, dude. That's commitment, dude.
Look, I'm not in for disrespects and bunchies, my bro.
Nah, that's commitment.
How the hell am I gonna get people to believe in my business if I don't believe in my business myself? You have to be committed to your business. I'm not doing this for 2-3 years and see how this rides, my bro. This is my life. This is my livelihood, my bro. I wanna buy my house from this. I wanna start a family from Keanon's Kitchen. This isn't for speaks and bunchies, bro. This is real.
Talking about family, how do you navigate relationships with your heavy work schedule?
I was hoping no one was in. Okay, I need to be very mindful.
Yeah, he's tone wind down now. He's tone wind down. It feels like this.
Well, yo, bruh. I don't go about answering this because I know Meets is gonna listen and watch this. I've been blessed. I had an amazing woman who's my best friend. She's been supporting me. She and my mom. In the last 5 years, I've only reached this magnitude of success because of those two. So Michelle de Monze, Cheryl Michaels is my mom. Michelle's my best friend. If it wasn't for her standing by me, believing in me, picking me up, because there's been times you be like, yo, I can't do this. Or like, I'm not good enough. Because maybe self-doubt's a real thing.
For sure. Like, especially within the colored community.
You know,
easy peasy.
My bro, there's times I doubt myself. It's like, yo, my bro, can I do this? And it's like, nah, bro, you got this. Like, I believe in you. You need to believe in yourself. So Michelle's been the one that's really, really, like, seriously pushed me. And she's been there. And I can never repay her, but I'm super, super grateful to have someone like that that's still in my life and has pushed me so much as a person and in my career, my bro. It's like a lot of brass will say this and a lot of brass will say that, my bro. I get credit with credit's you. You know what I mean? And I'm super blessed to have someone like that. And my mom, so aware.
What is some of your most memorable places that you've worked at within the Cape Town industry? We know you worked in with Etihad and etc. and internationally, but like here locally, prior to starting your own business, what spots were really stood out for you?
My best years of my career was working at the Western. Then it was the Arabari, Sherrington, Nantal, Cape Town. It's now the Western. I worked on the 19th floor, which is the fine dining restaurant. I worked in a brigade there with now award-winning chef Virgil Khan. Very, very awesome guy. Yusuf Avraji, Fahim Fulyoun, Raymond Marman, Charles Kippers, Tanya Jacobs, Glenn Olsen, and headed by Chef Marcus Retailer, who was the previous chef at Buiten Verwachting. That's the best time of my life. The most passionate, these Owens really loved what they did. Like, they didn't like it, they loved it. Like, means we used to come into work like 2-3 hours before a shift.
Yo. Yeah, I couldn't even wake up.
Not because we needed to, or the Owens were in shit, anything, because we wanted to be at work. Like, we wanted to get involved. It's like, okay, my bro, I sold out last night. It's a 50-seater restaurant. We did 45 covers in a fine dining restaurant. If you sell out all your mise en place, my bro, all your prep, my bro, so it's very come to do. It's fine dining. It's everything needs, it's attention to detail. So everything needs to be accurate. Everything needs to look exactly the same. All your preparation. If it's not, you guys are all four sitting at the same table. You guys ordered the same thing. There has to be no discrepancies between your plates. Because you're paying so much and you're paying so much, you're going to look at what's going on in your plate. So the pressure's high, but it teaches you also to appreciate the finer details and master your techniques and your crafts and cook everything perfect. Not good, not excellent, perfect. Every single time. It doesn't leave unless it's perfect. And that is the standard. If you can't meet it, go work downstairs. Or go work at a 4-star establishment.
As ek kook is amper gesê. Nou wat hy is ander level. Maar wil nog vra kyk I recently begin om te watch wat ek eet man in the mense. But ek het 'n probleem met But let's say when your calories count, man. When you make food, do you can say like calories like the weather cost mark okay? Do you
Estimates.
Can say estimate type of thing, man.
Not really. The first thing that I think of is flavors.
Okay.
But like the first thing I think of is flavors. Does this flavor work together? How am I gonna get a contrast to that? How am I gonna add texture to that? How am I gonna get balance? And how am I gonna get umami? Umami is the thing that pushes the food over the
level,
edge to the next level. You just like, and you stop tasting it. I've had moments where I'm like, and I keep tasting. You know, I've really had moments like that. Like not many, probably about 5 moments like that in my life. But I was like, yo, this is exceptional. It's not good. This is really exceptional. I've never tasted anything like this in my life. You know, and that's what we strive for. Every time is exceeding someone's expectations. Like I did an event 2 weeks ago in series, right? Nice people, and then they underestimated me straight up. They saw the menu and they saw apple crumble and smoked ice cream. They're like, they probably chicken this colored brass is gonna probably make an apple crumble and just buy a 2-liter ice cream. But my bro, but when you see the photos that's gonna be set on Facebook and you see how many elements is on the plate and the fact that I made my own ice cream, I actually made a smoke coconut ice cream. The person that underestimated me came afterwards and apologized. They called me and said they were humble enough to say, you know what, I'm so sorry, we did underestimate you. You know, because obviously they take me by the gefriet.
Yes.
I'm a caliber from Stamford. What can I actually do? It's like, my bro, I'm actually trained. I'm actually qualified. I'm trained and I got a lot of experience and I'm actually good at what I do. But I'm not going to tell you that.
Yes.
I'm not going to say all that. I'm going to leave you.
Your food will talk.
My food speaks to me.
Yeah.
And when you taste my food, then you will realize, brah. I don't need to say anything, man, bro. I keep it humble. Even whether that person apologized or not, it doesn't really matter. I appreciated the fact they apologized and they said, "Be sorry for underestimating you. You have exceeded all our expectations." That's what I do. You read something, you think, you have an idea of what you're going to get, but what it actually presented to you in front of you. And the way I explain it, because when you hire my services, it's not just food you're getting. You're getting a culinary experience. I can explain to you what beverage goes with it, whether you drink or not. I tell my Muslim clients the same thing. You know, beverage doesn't always have to mean alcohol. You like milkshakes?
I've seen your
Do you like milkshakes? Do you like this? Do you like that? I can pair it. It's one of my skill sets. The 2 most valuable things that I have is my palate and my hands. If I lose my palate, I'm useless, bruh, for real. So my hands and my palate, I can taste, I can put things together without tasting it. I can write a menu, I know things will work. I know that's acidic, I know that's starchy, I know that's fatty, I know that's protein. If I put it all together and I balance it right, it's going to be perfect. I just need to get the seasoning on point. But that's how confident I am with my food. I can plan a menu for December because I know what vegetables are going to be in the season. I can plan ahead. It's like, oh my God, are you available for December? I'm getting married. It's like, yes, I am, my darling. What would you like? And then we want to consult. It's like, no problem. But how do you know it's going to be in season? I know it's going to be in season because I have a chart with all the vegetables and all the fruit for the whole year for each season. So I can plan far ahead. It's all about planning and organizing yourself because, my bro, I don't have a backup plan. People need to realize I'm not like a restaurant. If you have a kak experience, I can't tell you, please come back tomorrow night. I'll give you a complimentary bottle of wine and a complimentary dessert. Nah, I'm on point every time.
Okay. Couple of things here. What you just mentioned now in terms of the actual experience, I think a lot of people are moving away from the traditional marketing where it was, you know, here's a flyer, you know, going on, this guy's got how many Michelin stars and that's it. But it's you actually selling the experience, and the experience is going to dictate the word of mouth, the referrals, etc. And that is what actually experiential marketing now is, where people are not just going to an event anymore. They're going there for the vibe, for the experience, the shared memories, whatever. And like you said, if it's a communal thing, everything needs to be on point. Another term you mentioned, I've heard this before on some of the cooking shows, mise en place.
Mise en place.
Mise en place. It's like basically that everything must be
preparation.
Pre-prep. And
mise en place is life, bro.
Yeah.
It's life.
So like once you have your technique down and you come in, you're taking your knives are sharp, whatever, how to prep everything, and then from there it's like just makkelijk, just sit out alles aan mekaar. Another thing in terms of smoking, we started smoking, having watched a lot of YouTube videos and stuff like that, and then eventually Nantal bought a homemade smoker, and then later on, that was like the rocket. The rocket was a very cumbersome and very tricky thing because it was a round cylinder and it wasn't like a ugly drum smoker, which is like wide. This was like a narrow thing and like the shelves weren't quite right. So at any time your meat will fall. You can't put a full rack of ribs on there. So we learned the hard way how to like manage the heat and stuff. But the main component of the smoking for us is from the shows that we watch is that we could never quite duplicate the spices. Because the quality of spices we will get at Keanons, say for instance where most of us went. If you're looking at, there's another guy, Guga's Food, who does like his Cuban or something in the States. And he does a lot of like sous vide stuff and smoking in the big green egg and stuff like that. We can't get a decent garlic powder or onion powder. So
why not make your own?
that's the thing is like when
How do you do that?
My bro, there's many ways to skin a cat. All you need is the method and then you apply it. You can do anything. You don't need to go buy anything. Because with me being a chef, there's a lot of things that I don't buy. Like that, people also apologize to me. I made my own cheese. It's like, you make cheese? I'm like, yeah. You're not a chef. You can go to a fucking supermarket and buy cheese. Like seriously, anybody can buy cheese. What's going to separate them from me? I'm a chef. I take pride in my craft. I love what I do. So it's culinary, bro. So I'm going to push it wherever I can. I can't make everything, but I know what my strengths are and I'm going to play to my strengths. And I'm going to experiment. I'm going to push things in different flavors and different ingredients. I went foraging recently, my bro. My whole world just went open like, I got a whole new, it's like you got a whole list of new toys to play with. And I've been playing, my bro. I've been playing a lot at home. You have to play with your food.
Because I've discovered that with smoking, it's not the smoke actually that creates the smoke ring. It's that little flame. So it's the long exposure of the little flame that actually gives you the smoke ring. Didn't really actually know that.
When I started smoking, I would take like a normal bakery insert, and I would take a steam tray, which also has holes in it. I'll cook and spread. I'll lay whatever down with foil, and I'll put my wood chips or whatever I need to down there, and whatever other spices or so. And I put it on the heat. As soon as I start eating, I'll pour a little bit of sugar on there. The sugar burns against the coals. But bro, you put your stuff down, foil over. You control your smoke. Once you get enough smoke, you take it off the heat and you close it and you leave it for a certain amount of time. You smoke it perfectly, you smoke it accurately, lightly smoke, and you finish it in the oven.
Okay.
Will you ever release a cookbook or maybe like skills, like you watch tutorial videos, like you can teach people how to, make cheese?
That's in the pipeline. I'm actually I need an author or somebody like a cooking book to approach me, because the thing is, I have a name already for the book. I've got the
like unique flavors and stuff.
I've got all my recipes. I've got high resolution photos. I just need to put it together and format it. I don't have that skill to do that. I'm good at food, and I'll stick to what I'm good at. But I need someone to help me do that. You know, and the name of the book is going to be named after my first events. It's going to be called Taste the Passion.
Sure.
By Chef Keanon or Keanon's Kitchen, And at the bottom it's going to be proudly Srambantain, because people need to know where I come from. Like, people must understand that, look here, it doesn't matter where you come from. Me just playing park, you can be proud of where you come from, because it doesn't determine where you go in life. People are like, maybe I'm proud of where I come from. There's nothing wrong with it. I love my community. It's as simple as that. I love where I come from. Surfing and skating and growing up in Srambantain has turned me into the man that I am today. For real, bro. Those are my circumstances, and I took my circumstances and I ran with it. And I'm very happy. I got no complaints.
Keanon, maybe I'll just ask the last question, but you've almost touched on it there now. What would you give as advice to, we're all colored people, we're all colored Owens here. And I know me and you had this conversation when I put out a post about they could take you back, and we had inboxing dialogue about the conversation, guys. Nothing like that.
Take it to the DMs.
But the basically the status was about the realities of a colored person on the Cape Flats, and I said basically don't judge us, because people judge the copper, people judge people that go through situations in Cape Town, especially colored people. They will say, like you said, it's a choice. It is a choice, make no mistake. But I've always had this view that it's very difficult if you put in a corner to make the right choices, because you're put in a corner. You seem to have done it right. I've done it right.
You've done it wrong, dude, by the way.
Yeah, here and there.
Nah, the reason why I'm saying you done it wrong, die bra was op Kom ons Braai, ne? Type TV program. The only reason why he won is because he gave the people note.
Yeah.
The producer van ons said, dude, do you know that you'll be the first person to say, mense kan nou, dat is the way gewen. But okay,
As a choice.
I just want to say, hy het eintlik die regte choice gemaak.
I made the right choice. Look, at the end of the day, I had the power in my hand to make a decision. The decision was, I want to win this competition.
By cheating.
Ek gaan die ander mense...
No, not cheating.
No, I wasn't cheating. I made a choice.
It was fucking cheating.
But guys, he's off the point now.
Sorry.
So I almost want to ask you, like, what advice can you give? You know that it's been tough to get to where you are. You've been fortunate enough to experience a lot of things, but still it doesn't shy away from the reality that you're a colored man that had to do a lot more than many other people in South Africa of different race groups. What advice would you give the next person that's looking at you now, right now, thinking, I'm smart to be a chef, but I'm staying in an overpark. I don't have a tani. I'm actually also making a diet for my two brothers. How can I take this very small bit of hope by feeding my family to actually aspire to become Keanon the chef?
Whoever's listening out there, you need to know first and foremost, my bro, like, if you really want to do something, if you really, like, I really wanted to quit smoking. I had factors that made me motivate to stop smoking, and I eventually got it. But the problem is, this is where the problem lies. You see, because I got many friends, many races, black, white, green, blue, maki, sake. The mindset is this: white parents raise their children to be business owners. Colored people raise their children to be employees.
Yes.
That is where the mindset must change. Like, you need to tell your child, like, you know what, you don't have to work for somebody. You can actually work for yourself. There is nothing stopping you from starting your own business. I've started my business with 1,700 rand in my account. My bro, ek is here, but I'm happy. Okay, I am happy. I have a happiness that I haven't felt in a very long time. Like, when I started my business, my bro, it was freak hard. And, you know, things I've been blessed and I've worked hard and I've accomplished things and my accolades that I wanted to. But the thing is, even with a learning disability, I mean, I've got ADD. I'm a 37-year-old man with a learning disability, right? Even with my learning disability, I had to focus. Okay, you have to focus. You must be so focused on what you want. Because you must understand, no one is going to give it to you. No one cares for you except for maybe your parents and maybe your partner and your children. No one cares about you. As soon as you accept that fact and you understand that fact, no one cares about you and no one's going to give you anything. The way you're going to get things is you have to work for it. You must work. No one owes you. Life doesn't owe you anything. Your parents don't owe you anything. You want to make it, you have to go out and make it yourself, my bro. You must, you can't sit with your fingers in your hole and expect things are going to come to you. Nah, that's a real, you might be real, my bro. You got to be real. You got to be realistic with yourself, my bro. There's many times I've failed. There's many times I've DM'd people, can I feature in your magazine? Would you like to endorse me? I'm a caliber from Sramatan. I'm Keanon's Kitchen. I'm this and that. I mean, like, I give you chai. What's skinny for you? Birkenstock don't want to sponsor me because I'm not Luke Del Roberts' Chef of the Year for 5 years. They want a white man to represent them. They don't want a colored man representing for them. I'm not saying that they said that, but I've been DMing them, I've been messaging them, I've been emailing them. Birkenstock is like the Nike Air Jordans of chef shoes. Okay, I don't wear Nikes, I don't wear Jordans. My most expensive shoe that I purchased was in 2008, and that was a Birkenstock, my bro. 950 rand. Ek het 3 jaar gewerk vir daai skoene, my bro. And I still got that shoes. But you understand, because my career was serious. It was more important to me than going to the club with a brand new pair of shoes on. I'm going to spend 12 to 16 hours on my feet. I want comfortable shoes. I want proper chef shoes. I want Birkenstocks because it's the best. You know? Global Knives didn't want to sponsor me. Victory Knock Knives didn't want to sponsor me. I'm a caliber from Srammontine. Then Frederick Scanlon, my bro. A man's part is just so big, but his heart is even bigger. He was me, nah, homeboy. I will give you a knife. And now I'm a brand ambassador for Scanlon Knives, my bro. Custom-made chef knives. I am so blessed. That man, my bro. So I'm telling the lighties out there and whoever's listening, it took me 3 years. It took me 3 years to build my brand to get to where I am. Nothing's going to come easy, but the thing is, it is possible. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something. Men have been telling me my whole life, I'm dumb, I can't count, I can't do maths, I can't do this, I can't do that, and kyk waar is ek nou. I still can't count. I still can't do maths. That's why I have an Excel sheet with the formulas
There
and
we
I just
go.
put the numbers in. You know what I mean? So, my bro, don't let anybody tell you, like me, I wanted to raise people and all that means. I didn't have to change my name. Because some men must have to change their name to their daddy's name because their daddy's famous.
Oh, yeah.
I was born Keanon Michaels, my bro. My pa se van is Michaels, ek is a Michaels. I represent who I am and I'm proud and comfortable with who I am. I didn't have to get famous on my daddy's back because my daddy was in corporate and he was in the finance and he drove a Subaru Impreza and mense like my bro, hoe wil jy chef is? Jou pa ry dan ding, jou pa kry agter, kyk ek is my pa nie. Ek is Keanon, ek is ek, man. And my parents respected me enough to say, kyk my bro, you're not going to make a lot of money in this, but if it's what you want, my son, you have to go full throttle. Want daar's die kroon vir die vir hy nie. If you're going to study this, you must follow through with it. Start with it and go with it. And I did.
Check, ek wil nog net sê net in closing net. Sorry man. But it's more statement. Like for us on the podcast now, we went a little bit political, man. But there's some stuff that the government should do. But I think the sentiment that we had maybe for some time episodes was amper soos 'n ons moet die government gaat uitsoort man. Ek is bly sy het nou die message man. Waar sy sê you accept stuff on your own man. I need to do this. Niemand gaat dit doen vir my. Ons kan nie wag nie man. You know what I'm saying? So ek is nogal bly met die message die ek goed doen. And thank you for that nogal. Thanks.
No, you're welcome.
I also agree on what you said, man, where you said like colored parents raises their kids to be employees.
Yeah.
Like for example, with myself, man, when I grew up and I told my mom, okay, I want to be a rapper. I want to create beats. Yo, my mom had jam big because she didn't want me to take home writing and being creative. Said they didn't want that. And I said, but okay, the question was like on your social media page, right? Do people ask you for advice on certain like issues?
Yes,
like,
I get it.
Do you give advice, or like can people ask you for advice on your social media page?
It's a two-part answer, yes and no. The reason why I say yes is when my friends, like say for example, my friend Robin Richards of Rob's Hot Sauces, he's got his own hot sauces, now he makes his own hot sauces. He called me the other day, he's like, Keanon, my bro, I want to make a peach, I want to use 10 peaches, I want to use ginger, I got this pepper and that pepper, will it work? And I was him, my bro, leave the cumin out, you want to use cumin, I was cumin's not going to work, because your chili is so powerful, you're gonna dilute the integrity of the chili. The thing is, you have to respect the ingredient. And what is the hero? It's the chili, the peach, and the ginger is just complementing it.
Yeah.
But the peach is always going to be the hero. She's the queen. So the chili is the hero. So she's going to be the queen in the gown. And the peach and the ginger is just going to be the two sisters on the side. For Stanja, she's going to be the bride of honor. But I'm saying that's how I think of ingredients. So if I'm going to have a beef fillet main course, my bro, the emphasis is going to be on that beef fillet or that fish main course. I'm going to respect that ingredient so much. I want to take it to the best level that I can possibly do it. So with people want advice, I actually want to start consulting. I don't mind giving advice, but I've been giving a lot of advice. I don't mind helping someone and helping them improve a product and make money from it and generate income. But my bro, there's skills and there's knowledge that I have I've acquired over 20 years. And people are charging for consultation. I don't necessarily want to charge my brother, but anybody else who wants to advise, I'm going to charge a consultation fee. That's nothing personal. It's just business.
No, but that's right.
Because at the end of the day, happiness doesn't pay my bills. But F&P, for the first of the month, if there isn't money or my stop orders to go off, F&P is going to say, don't worry, we'll take some happiness and everything will be alright.
Some exposure will pay for that.
You know what I mean? Happiness don't pay my bills, my bro. They want hard South African cash rands in there when my stop orders go off in the month. It's my responsibility as a man to make sure that there's money in there. It's not my mommy or my daddy's responsibility. So my eie ding kyk, my bro. So my eie ding kyk. Oh, wait.
Cool. Nee, ik weet niet om die kant.
Hallo. Los die arguments voor die kwijne voor later.
Nah, but Owens, man, you know, like I ran this because it's an open, like, I don't tend to use profanity in my other interviews, like on the radio stations, like and stuff like that. But with podcasts, you told me straight, my bro.
Yeah, we want you to be you.
Be yourself. This is me.
Nee, we like you.
But the filter's off. This is me without the filter.
No smoke screens.
No smoke screens. This is who I am. And I'm not going to apologize for being who I am. The thing is, you have to be true to yourself.
For sure.
People might not like you, but it's alright. It's okay, man. People don't have to like you. That's cool, but the thing is, you have to be happy. that the most important thing that I've learned at 37 years of age, you have to be happy. You are responsible for your own happiness, maybe. Like seriously, like I'm okay with being in my own company. I enjoy being alone. I've had a lot of time alone. I enjoy it. I get my thoughts. I can get my shit together. I can plan things. I can structure things. Next week we're leaving Cape Town. We're shooting on location. I got my crew. I got my surfers. I'm busy shooting a documentary also now that we're busy shooting. You know, and I'm very, very excited about that. When that documentary hits me, bro, Keiki, my bro, it's gonna be on a level. Like I am so excited. I haven't been this excited about something in a long time. You know, it's taken us a couple of months now. COVID hit us with the stopping of production and everything. Yeah. And I just want to give a shout out to my director and my producer, Jovan Kurusis from Srambantain. Like, away, like, thank you very much for all your hard work, my bro. I appreciate you and you're a real blessing and God sent you in my life at the right time. And salute, man, for all your hard work. And he's really talented. And like, even my sponsors, my bro, Fish for Africa, Scanlan Knives, Plastipack in Salt River, you know, Barilla Pasta, your Scanlan Knives, all that people who've helped me, even my designers like Landon Nochnagel, he does all my graphics, Matthew Whaley, that does all my photos. You know, I wouldn't be where I am today without those people. They are fundamental in my life and in my business.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that kind of people, because you don't find people like that actually genuinely care about you as a person and as a business.
Yeah.
So you have to take care of your people, because no one else is going to take care of you. And you have to get credit where credit is due. That means you're super talented. I always tell people I'm famous because of Matthew Whaley. Who means that I know? My bro, 90% of my photos since the launch of Keanon's Kitchen on the 17th of April in 2017, Matthew Whaley's been shooting my photos. Matthew Whaley is a bitchy folicky because he only likes shooting this and he only likes shooting that, but I respect him as a photographer and as an artist. That is who he is, but my bro, the quality of that man's work, that price freak good. Like I give credit to you.
Maybe we can have him on, hopefully. Kan ons 'n bietjie leer van
And I was just gonna say, like, even for us as the podcast now, I think what you're now alluding to is the fact that how important it is to have the right people around you. Like, and people that you can count on, people that have their skill, they can push you, and ultimately, you as the chef, if it wasn't for the inputs and the assistance, wouldn't push your brand to where it is right
Of course.
So
So
now we salute them and we...
No, I'm very grateful for them, bro. They've gotten me to where I am, like especially my mom. And as I always say, Michelle also, she's also behind the scenes. She doesn't want recognition or anything like that. You know? It's a love thing, man.
Yeah.
She did it out of love. So when I speak and I mention a name on the radio or podcast or anything,
why did you mention my name?
No, she's not quiet. She's grateful.
Okay.
She's grateful because she understands the like she played. You don't understand what a big role she played in my success. Like I'm partly successful because of I had a woman like that behind me, my bro. And she's a tough one, huh? She got hard on her tongue because you have to have hard on your tongue for me because I'm a stubborn person. Okay, I'm a stubborn person and I'm set a lot in my ways and there's certain things that I want done a certain way. And I'm not the easiest person to deal with at times and I can admit that.
Yeah.
Because my standards and my expectations of people are high because my expectations and my standards are high.
Yeah.
So you have to I've learned to compromise a lot and be more flexible towards people. So my outlook and I would say definitely my attitude has changed a lot in the last year or so. So I'm way more open-minded and more aware of things now. I'm aware, like, okay, it's not sometimes what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
It's like people will say, hey, bro, you're so passive-aggressive. It's like, nah, I'm not, man. I just speak like it. I'm loud. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean I'm going to mood you.
No,
That's just the way I talk.
Yeah.
You know, I can't help that. But the people who know me, they know I am like that and they chose.
Each other, I understand you. Okay.
Okay.
Shaquille.
In closing, just before we sign off, I'd just like to commend you because when you came here, when we opened up for you and stuff like that, and we introduced ourselves, you said, but I suck with names. It's like, but you just basically gave us a list of about at least 20 people that were instrumental in standing by you and snacks and fun soos net Nagel. But I mean, big props to you because a lot of people that we not just necessarily have on the podcast, but in general in media, when they're coming for interviews, they do not acknowledge those that have contributed or played a part, whether major or small, within their mentoring, their success, their continued support. So now big ups to you for that because that is true in terms of if you're going to say to the next person, if you're going to teach a laity to not acknowledge that comes up under you, he's not going to acknowledge you at the end of the day. And then the legacy ends there. So for you to like bring all the people up, you've now basically opened doors, not just for yourself and your production, for your entire crew around you. So people will know, if you want a quality photographer, you're going to go with this, bruh. If you want somebody on this side, okay, not necessarily Michelle, she can't support everybody. She can't beat everybody's corner. But I mean, you're not saying like this is what it takes. It takes a successful team to make this happen. And it takes extreme passion and sacrifice at times to make it in any industry. So we're not selling people pipe dreams. We're telling this is a harsh reality. This is what the odds we faced against. This is the political structures we faced against. The financial barriers because we are people of color. But at the same time, if you grind and if you continuously absorb that knowledge and push it out in a positive and driven manner, you can make it. So yeah, from the Babbling Heads, this episode will be up shortly within the next week or two.
Oh yeah, Nantal.
Peace.
Adrian?
Charlie X2C.
And thanks to our guest,
Keanon's
Keanon
Kitchen.
Michaels. Keanon's Kitchen.
Oh yeah.
So jy het nogal kwaai gedoen vandag met jou
Nee.
vriendin,
Diep in mee, bro. Gooi hem in by die ding.
Bah!
hè? Jy moet nie agter sit met Charles en dit.
Nee, is nie haast vir jou. Sy skill as sy hande en sy pallet. My skill is my bek.
The Babbling Heads Podcast.
Peace.
Peace.
South.
Oh yeah.